Hello, New Covenant Community Church. On Sunday, we looked at an overview of the book of Job. And in the book of Job, we saw that Job went through trials to show that he feared God. But the accuser, Satan, sought to show that his fear of God was based upon his blessed circumstances rather than an actual love and fear for God. But when everything was taken from Job, his wife, his friends, his material possessions, all of those things, Job's friends came to comfort him, came to show him sympathy, but instead of comforting and showing him sympathy, what they ended up doing is they took the place of the accuser. They accused him of being wicked and sinful. Job, however, continued to maintain his innocence, but said that God is always right in all of his actions and what he does. And in all of this, Job believes, and he said to his friends, what we really need is an arbiter. What we really need is a mediator between God and man. And he talked about how that one is a redeemer who is alive, who even when his skin wastes away, even when he dies, he will see him again in the flesh. So he speaks of this resurrection from the dead. And we know that we have that perfect redeemer and mediator in the person and work of Jesus Christ. So what Job looked forward to, we have realized through the person of Christ. And Job's continual cries show the need for that. But we looked at a few things. First, we saw that Job was a man who feared God. So that's how he's described in chapter 1. He was accused of not fearing God by his friends. But then Job's long speech in the middle of the book in Job 28:28 says that the true wisdom is found in the fear of God, and to fear God is to turn away from evil. And that's what we should do. We saw who the accuser was, as 1 Peter 5 talks about. He prowls around like a lion seeking to devour. And here, Satan is accusing Job and others before God on his throne. And we see that Job, well, when the question is asked whether or not he would curse God to his face, Job didn't. Instead, he entrusted himself to God. The accuser is the one who accuses, and then we saw that Job's friends accused, which they shouldn't have. At the beginning of the book, Job is making mediation for his friends. He's crying for a mediator throughout the book. And then at the end, God tells Job to pray for his friends, and Job's prayer is accepted by God. In all of this, we've seen that God is in control, that we need to trust in him, that God's control is a good thing. And we need to follow Job's example, and we should do what Job's friends should have done: mediate and pray for those who we're close to, those whom we love. And most of all, we need to understand that our Redeemer lives. Christ is on his throne, mediating on our behalf, praying and pleading for us. And we trust in him and his good plan and provision. Let's do that today.